I clicked done and not start. So I thought we were done. All right, everybody. Hello, hello online, hello online. I'll move over. Oof, Lord. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday night loving kindness meditation. My name is Alex. It is wonderful to be here with you today. So if Brian and Linda, if you guys can let me know if you're still there. This is the online folks that are here. I pressed the wrong button. I pressed done instead of go live. And so I just want to make sure that you're still here. Yeah. Yep, they are. Good. Thank you. There's like a 10-second delay, so you gotta wait just a little bit of time. This is it's I know it's Thanksgiving, and people are just getting ready for the celebration. The stores are full. People getting all the food and everything, and that's a wonderful thing. It's wonderful to actually go to the grocery store, even though it's kind of hectic, because people are in a relatively good mood because they know they're going to be spending time with friends and family, chosen or otherwise. And so I've always enjoyed it, even though it's a bit hectic. And even though the world right now, it's okay to acknowledge that it's somewhat of a dumpster fire, and that's fine. Regardless of that, there's still so much to love. So many people to love and be grateful and thankful for. And so I just wanted to acknowledge that both things can be true, and that regardless of anything that might be negative going on in your life and going on in the world, there will always be so much to love and appreciate. And we kind of celebrate that here with this loving kindness meditation. And so we're kind of gonna do this meditation and just get our Thanksgiving off to a good start. All right. So is anybody here brand new to the Dharma Bum Temple? Awesome. How'd you hear about us?
On the meetup app.
Oh, beautiful. Awesome. You're still at it. You're still at it. Thank you so much. Diane's brought so many new people here. Always so grateful. Thank you again.
One came back the second time.
Nice. It's beautiful. Anybody, if this is not your first time to the Dharma Bum Temple, but is maybe your first time to Wednesday. I didn't think, okay, cool. So the word that we're talking about when we say loving kindness, because that was just the word that was translated into, that's how it was translated into English from the Pali language. This word is metta, M-E-T-T-A, and it is, the meaning of this word is so large and so encompassing, all-encompassing, that to translate it into one thing is just not really, you can't really do it. There isn't really a one-to-one translation. And so we use loving kindness. You can also use unconditional friendliness, goodwill, concord, amity, inoffensiveness. And it's simply just a wish to be happy. It's a wish for us to be happy. It's a wish for others to be happy, as well as a wish for ourselves and others to do the things that cause happiness. Because our spiritual practice here is an action verb. This is a program of action. Just like they say in recovery, it's a program of action, right? And so this is a program of action too. So we want ourselves to be happy. We want to do the things that cause happiness. We want others to do the things that cause happiness. And because of the kind of inoffensive nature, the non-harming nature of the thing that you do of the things that cause happiness, your loving kindness will never get in the way of somebody else's loving kindness. Right? Never. It will never happen. Um, and so we call that to mind and we remember that as we do this practice, right? And so I'm going to guide this meditation, um, and so for our new people, I'm just going to kind of go over kind of what we're going to do. The OGs know what I'm doing. So we're going to just spend a couple of minutes getting connected to the breath, and then we're going to do this practice for a benefactor. And a benefactor is anyone who has shown us great love and great kindness. Someone that's really easy to have these feelings for. You just think of this person and your heart, gets bigger and warmer, and you just want them to be happy, right? Because of, remembering all the things that they've done for you. Or if you can't think of that person, just remember, a kind act, one single kind act that someone did for you, and that will be enough. And then we're going to imagine our benefactor doing this practice for us, right? We already have the experience of their love and kindness in our hearts, so we just call that to mind again and just receive all of their love and kindness again, right? And then we're going to do this practice for ourselves. And then we're going to do this practice for all beings in all directions, and then that'll be it. That'll be it. Right? We'll probably may end a little bit early, not too much of a question and answer, but they have a question here. So yes, thank you. Thank you, SR, for being here. Certainly appreciate it. All right. Is the name? All right. Any questions before we start tonight? All right, let's go to it. Start my stopwatch. Sorry. So just allow your eyes to close, making sure you have that nice, comfortable, and sustainable position so you're not likely to move around too much. And when we sit like a Buddha. And you can even imagine yourselves as a Buddha sitting underneath your own tree of enlightenment. And it could be whatever tree you want, because each Buddha has their own tree. Ready for the day's abiding. And so at first, we're just going to get connected to the breath on the in-breath and the out-breath. So let's just take a deep breath all the way in and all the way out. At first, not forcing the breath, letting the breath be quite easy and quite natural, and focusing your attention at the base of the nostrils, feeling the air go in and out as you breathe. This focusing on the breath helps us concentrate on our meditation, because even though we're doing a loving kindness meditation, we always want to keep at least about 25% of our attention on the breath. The breath is our anchor. The breath is our home. Always, that place we can always come back to, whether we're sitting here in meditation or out experiencing our day. It's always available to us to stop, to pay attention, to let go of whatever we're holding on to. Just for the next few moments, just rest as gently as you can in the sensations of the breath. Now, to begin our practice of loving kindness meditation, we're first going to think of a benefactor. Again, a benefactor is anyone who has shown us great love and great kindness. Mother, father, brother, sister, any relative, best friend, teacher, somebody, anybody. In wishing them loving kindness, you can either just radiate loving kindness to them and however you understand that word, or you can just repeat phrases of loving kindness to yourself for them. Phrases like, may you be happy. May you be safe from inner and outer danger. May you be well in body, in mind. May you be at peace and live at ease in this world. You can have one benefactor, you can have two. They could be living, they could be not living. There's so much flexibility here. And it always helps to smile when you meditate. Thinking of them puts the mind in a really good mood. So for the next few minutes, we'll do this practice for our benefactor. And now shifting our focus just a little bit from doing this for our benefactor to now imagining our benefactor, the same one or a different one, doing this practice for us. Just imagine them in your mind's eye, smiling and looking at you, radiating loving kindness towards you, or just saying the words of loving kindness for you. So your only job here really is just to receive all of their love, all of their kindness. They're a benefactor because you already have the experience of their love and kindness in your own heart. So can we just call that to mind again? Just receiving all of it. If there's any tension or tightness, that's okay. Just use the breath and just breathe into it. Maybe it loosens up, maybe it doesn't matter. Just keep on doing the practice. Keep on smiling. If you want, you can put your hand over your heart to help receive all of this. And so for the next few moments, we'll just kind of imagine our benefactor doing this practice for us. So now, shifting our focus again, can we now do this practice of loving kindness, unconditional friendliness, goodwill? It's practice of not harming for ourselves. And you can either say the phrases of loving kindness about you. May I be happy. May I be safe from inner and outer danger, and all the rest of them. And or you can imagine your heart getting bigger and warmer. Just recalling your own wish to be happy. Your own wish to be happy is the same wish that every other human being has for themselves. So it's not unusual or selfish or wrong or bad. It's none of the, it's quite natural. It's quite skillful, as we say in Buddhism. So we can imagine our heart getting bigger and warmer, just like the Grinch. We're in that season, it's okay. So we'll do this practice for ourselves for the next few moments. And finally, we can explore this limitless potential of the heart to do this practice and to wish loving kindness for all beings in all directions. Every human heart has this potential. And so we explore this, wishing all beings in all directions loving kindness. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, the great or the mighty, medium, short, or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let no one wish harm upon another or despise any being in any state, wishing in gladness and in safety, may all beings be at ease. Like a mother who protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should we cherish all living beings, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded. May all beings be at ease. And just open your eyes when you're ready. Let's just take the next moment or two out in silence as you stretch your arms and you stretch your legs. Keeping the mindfulness of loving kindness about you for yourself and your benefactors and all beings in all directions. Okay. Any questions on the instructions at all? Right. So for those of you who don't know, we are redoing the windows. That's why they're all boarded up like this. We're refurbishing this is a almost 100-year-old, it's like a 95-year-old building. The windows are original to the building, we think. And so they just really need to be refurbished. Some of the windows, they don't close, and we have a hard time. If you've ever helped us try to close the windows, you'll notice it's really hard. So that's just what happens with an old building. And so we're really grateful that we get the opportunity to either refurbish or replace some of them. So we're replacing some of them, and the other ones we can just refurbish, and that's fine. We have experts who are doing it, which is wonderful. And so I don't know how long this is going to take, but we're getting there. So there's a comment online, one of the people who were attending online, who said, I'm really glad that I did this at home because I just kind of cried the whole time. And so that's a wonderful thing, that if you can do that, because you never know what's going to happen in meditation. And so often, it certainly has happened with me where I felt emotional and like I want to cry, and my normal reaction is just to kind of stop that, just to kind of prevent myself from doing that. And I've gotten myself out of that habit, because it's kind of a lifelong habit. But if you're in meditation and you just feel a release where you just need to cry and let it out, it's always okay to do that. Whether you're doing it at home or whether you're here, that's fine. And if you ever hear somebody doing that, just let them do it. That's their experiencing at the moment. We don't want them to hold anything back. Hasn't really happened that much yet, but it happens, right? And that's okay. Experience your emotions. That's a good thing. And so, how about, does anybody have any either questions at all about any part of this meditation or Buddhism or whatever? This is pretty open-ended, or would like to share their experience of meditation. I'll start. So for me, Diane was my benefactor. I chose Diane as my benefactor. And just because she's come in here and she's brought several different people. We're always grateful when she can do that. And so I just thought, what, I'm gonna have someone here be my benefactor, because that's brought me joy, and I'm always so grateful for that. So thank you. And that was wonderful to have a benefactor so close, like physically close to me. That was quite lovely. And then I think I chose a different benefactor for the doing this practice for myself. So that was kind of cool too. I enjoyed that. I saw people smiling and putting their hands over their hearts, and that's wonderful. Hopefully that helped you. It always helps me. It always helps to smile. It always puts your mind in a better mood. We so many. It's understandable to treat your spiritual practice with a lot of seriousness, but it's even better to be much more lighthearted and happy about it, even though the reason you come here is probably pretty serious. We know that, and we understand that. I mean, hardly anybody comes to spiritual practice because everything is so wonderful in their life. That hardly ever happens. Right? More often, it's like, hey, things aren't great, and I need some help, and that's okay. In the recovery circles, we call that acting as if. Even if you're not happy, just smile. Just smile. Act as if you are happy. It just helps to put your mind in a better mood. It helps to concentrate. Helps to kind of fill your heart a little bit. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. So we always encourage that. Yes, Diane.
Can I share my?
Sure.
So my benefactors are my two children.
Yeah.
Adult children. And I envisioned perhaps a year ago when I was this actually happened. I was embracing both of them. They're adults, so they're
Right.
living their life. So I was embracing both of them, which was like incredible. So,
Yeah.
wow. And then they also were my benefactor too. So, but my mind throughout this meditation was, hard to rein in. There were multiple other thoughts, and then I had to keep focusing on the topic. It wasn't as easy as there seemed to be more other, I don't want to say irrelevant thoughts, but not as focused, in and out. Not anyway, but maybe 40% of the time I was focusing on my benefactors, or I was focusing on myself, and towards the last part of the meditation as we were meditating over loving kindness for all beings, I was back into it again. But there were a lot of times this past hour or so where I was all over the place.
Right. Yeah, that's okay. Each time you meditate, it's going to be different. And so just to recognize that, and to know that you always have available to you this opportunity to come back to the breath. Because some thoughts are like, they just kind of stay with you and they just kind of dominate your mind. And so it's hard to break that. And sometimes, kind of like you said, it's like a lot of thoughts coming in and coming out, coming in and coming out, and that's why we have the breath there at all times, is to try to use that. And it's even okay just to kind of stop what you're doing and just take a couple of minutes out and just kind of focus on the breath, even if it's just like 3, 4, 5 breaths to do that, to kind of get refocused and recentered. All of this is I'm glad that you're sharing this, because so often, people have the same type of thing going on, and it's hard. Meditation, the instructions are pretty easy on knowing what to do, understanding the tools of meditation, and to bring yourself back to the present. But the practice of it, the getting good at it, is it takes a while. Even master meditators have problems with recursive thoughts, and that's just the way that it is. We practice and we get better. And we don't beat ourselves up just because, we get lost in thought, I mean, and then there's this balance. I mean, and the Buddha talks about it a lot. He has these steps that you can take, that when you have thoughts that arise, right? Or whether it's like ill will or any of the hindrances, sloth or torpor, anxiousness and worry, doubt, any of these things that are going on in your mind, he has this systematic way of dealing with them. But the last way he says is, if you try all these other things and they don't work, the last thing you try is basically taking a sledgehammer and like beating it out of your mind. He says, you gnash your teeth and you clench your fist and you force it out. You know? And because he already knows this is hard for a lot of people. You know, and so it's okay, you know, to do that. You know, go through the other like 4 things first. You like recognize that these thoughts cause suffering. You know, recognize that they cause suffering. Like, hey, I'm causing myself suffering, and I want to be good to myself, so I'm going to do my best to, you know, stay attached, stay, you know, focused on the breath. You know, and there's these other things as well. But yeah, it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. You know what? We're going to end a little bit early tonight because we wanted to get you back to Thanksgiving. So how about our guy with the big sign, our host?
I always try to steal this. Have to bring it back. Hello, everyone. I am tonight's host, Daryl. We opened the Dharma Bum Temple 15 years ago to introduce Buddhist practices to those who show up. Those who lead are not nuns, monks, gurus, masters, or teachers, and are not looking for students. They are simply practitioners sharing their interpretation of the practice with others. Just about every night we have different classes led by different people from various Buddhist traditions. We have a recovery sangha that meets several times a week for anyone battling addiction, drugs, alcohol, or anything else for that matter. A family sangha for parents, kids, toddlers, and teens, which currently meets once a month. We also offer a half-day silent retreat for the first Saturday of the month. Everything that we offer here is free, and full schedules on the website and posted in the entryway above the shoe rack. We also have a lending library, so if you see a book you like, feel free to borrow it and bring it back whenever you're done. Please straighten out your seats and cushions before you leave, and thank you, and we hope to see you again.
All right, let's join our palms together on our hearts, please. And may the benefits of this meditation, this discussion, be received by all beings in all directions. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be loved and seen for the beautiful, radiant beings that they are, that you are. Thank you for coming. All right, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you next time. Be good to yourselves. See you guys.